All right. We're going to call this meeting to order of the best Rotary Club in the. All right. We have an invocation, Mayor Julia Johnson.
Thank you, Lord. Thank you for this day and everything that you have given us, for it is a blessing. It is opportunity and it's a challenge. May we appreciate this day and each day as it comes to us. We pray for the strength and the guidance that you will lead us in our duties and show us the day's problem and that we can work through them methodically. Pray we are challenged to give the very best, and may we be assured of your presence with us now and always. Amen.
All right, and now our Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. And we're going to do the four-way test. And for those of us, the guests that we have here today, our four-way test is over there on the wall. You don't have to recite it. It sounds kind of cult-like when we're all doing it, but that's what we're doing here. So, is it the truth? Is it fair to all concerned? Will it build goodwill and better friendships? Will it be beneficial to all concerned? And Chris, we have a song?
Yeah, we have a song. I feel like we're obligated at this point to sing Take Me Out to the Ball Game. So let's send all those good juju vibes down to Safeco for tomorrow night.
Me out to the ball game. Take me out to the crowd. Listen to peanuts and Cracker Jack. Root for the Mariners. They don't win, it's a shame. For it's 1, 2, 3 strikes are out at the old ball game. All right, thank you. Cheryl, you okay back there? Hey, Eric, is she okay back there? Got it. Thank you. Visiting Rotarians. Chris, you have a visiting Rotarian, actually new member Rotarian?
Yeah, we have an interesting little situation. We're not going to do an induction today because we have a visiting Rotarian who's actually, as of 7:30 this morning, 8:30 this morning, is a new member. So Andy, here we go. Andrea Librarian Clay goes by Andy. She is our new member. She's transferring from her Rotary Club up in Bellingham. That's kind of going away, right? Yeah. It's a passport. It's a passport club. And anyway, so she's into we'll get a new member speech. I think it'll be absolutely fascinating when we do get that. She's in healthcare. She's done some stuff overseas with new schools and things like that. And her and Doug Wood are going to have a joke off at one point during a meeting. So there you go. Welcome to Andy. Yeah.
So did you tell her at the induction that she's like not the next president of the club, but the one after that? You know, after Travis. So
Yep.
We'll talk about that later. Oh yeah.
We have another guest today. We've got John with the Tumwater Club, and guess he's visiting your parents and always wanted to swing in. Just hadn't been here on Thursday. He was actually student of the month in 1979 September, you said, and a Sedro Woolley scholarship winner in 1980. So welcome, John.
All right. Hi, John. All right. Other than our students of the month and their families, do we have any guests? No guests? All right. We are going to move into club business and announcements. And right at the top of the list, Carrie, I have students of the month. Ready to roll? There we go.
Hello, what a blessed day we get to celebrate our seniors. And standing before you, I always like to say it truly is the best of Sedro Woolley High School. Our graduating class of 2026 It's hard to believe that. I'm entering my 12th year as principal. And so this is a great honor for me to stand here before you, 12 years now in the making, celebrating our kids. And so it is with great honor that I get to start and present first Miss Larkin. Larkin is the daughter of Danae and Wesley Allen. Larkin has maintained an active 3.89 GPA, will be actively involved in our high school. Throughout her school years, she has been a member of the National Honor Society, Health Occupations Services of America. She's a part of National Honor Society leadership. She is an assistant in sports medicine for 3 years, lettering all 3 of those years. And she has also been a Cub Crew mentor and a junior marcher. Outside of school, Larkin enjoys football, being with friends and family, spending time with her dogs, volunteering, and traveling. If she took off on a trip today, she says that Maui, Hawaii would be her first destination. Can I go with you? Okay, perfect. Okay. All right. Thank you. She also has gained valuable work experience in the medical field, getting her certified nursing assistant license and volunteering at a local care center. She currently works at Starbucks as a barista part-time. At this moment, I'd like to have Larkin come to the microphone, share who's with her here today, and also her plans after graduation.
I would like to thank the Rotary Club for this honor, and as I am incredibly blessed for the Student of the Month award. After high school, I plan on going to a 4-year university and sooner earning my master's in physician assistant studies. I am looking towards Pacific Lutheran University and Western Washington University at this moment, applying to all of them as I can. I am also, who's with me today? I would like to thank my parents who have been with me today. They are truly an inspiration, and I could not be here today without them and their support. And so I would like to thank them today, and also thank the Rotary Club for this amazing honor. And yeah, that's it.
I told them right before that they had to give a 10-minute speech. Didn't I? Oh, I forgot that part. Okay. I am now extremely honored to also welcome Isaac for Student of the Month. Isaac Aporto is the son of Tara and David Aporto. Isaac has maintained a 3.5 GPA while being extremely active at Sedro Woolley High School. If there is something happening on campus, you will most likely find Isaac there, taking pictures, providing support, and leading the charge. Isaac has natural leadership skills, and he has used them to serve the student body faithfully throughout all 4 years. He has been involved in ASB all 4 years, starting with freshman class president and continuing on, and he is now our ASB student body president. He is also a yearbook editor and involved in varsity and volunteerism. He's also a member of CAMP, which is Cubs Advocating for Mental Health and Prevention, and a member of Sedro Woolley Rise, which is our local coalition to support prevention in our community. Outside of school, Isaac enjoys volunteering, photography, graphic design, hiking, and travel. Hawaii and Italy, you guys are traveling together, are at the top of his list of destinations. Here in Sedro Woolley, he has worked at the local Pioneer Market as well. So Isaac, can you come to the mic and share who's with you here today and also your plans after graduation?
Well, this was unexpected. I just want to thank my parents being here, mom and dad over there. My plans after high school, I would like to go to a 4-year college to major in, I'm still deciding on that, to either in marketing, project management, or graphic design. And I just want to thank everyone for just honoring me today. So thank you.
Thank you so much. You can see why I'm so proud. Thank you.
All right. Thanks again for our Students of the Month. Thank you, Carrie. Let's see, next on our agenda, We are planning our first auction meeting for November 4th at 6 o'clock at the district office, right there. Bruce got a room gonna set up for us. Next thing is Halloween is coming up. Is there any interest in handing out candy again this year? We did it a year or two ago, and those of us that did it, I know Mike and Ellen, were you there for that, or was just Mike? But those of us that did it, it was a lot of fun. So they're having the Halloween parade starting at 4:30 on Halloween. That's a Friday. And if you're interested in handing out candy, let me know or show up. And we're asking for several of the big bags of candy to hand out. Or if you don't want to go get a big candy bag because it might be some sort of temptation in your household, give me $20 and I'll test fate. And I'll store those securely at my house until I bring them in for that. So just let me know, but we'll need it beforehand. Let's see. Don't forget, Mandy had her cocktails and comedy thing going on October 17th. She got up here and spoke about. So if you're interested in that, if we can get a hold of Mandy. And also, we got a thank you from Mayor Johnson on our contribution to the community center fridge. I think the Walnut Tree and Sedro Woolley Rotary purchased the new fridge back there to keep Cheryl happy. She was getting tired of the weird fridge that was sometimes cold, sometimes freezing. So that was a big help. The wreaths across America, when Kimmy was in here last time, she left some flyers. I put those on the front table there. And Sam Stormont has expressed interest in or seeing if there's people that want to get together on the 5th Thursday of this month to do on October 30th for just a get together at Barley and Brew here in Sedro Woolley. So we can let Sam know if you're interested, or let me know and I can pass on the word. Teak has been trying to send me information on Honduras IPA, something like that. I don't know if it's India Pale Ale or something international, whatever, but his email hasn't been working. So I'm not exactly sure what, but we're going to have some information on that on the tables next week when our district governor's here. And you can take a look at what's going on that front. And we have a board meeting coming up on Tuesday, the 14th at 5:30 at the Senior Center. And our Christmas party is scheduled for Friday, December 5th. So keep all that in mind and on your calendar. And Don, do we have a raffle?
Yes, we do.
We got a raffle. And Chris, is your mic on?
Yes, it is.
Oh, got it. There we go.
All right, our first number is N44. N44. Got the wine, got the wine, got the wine. Our next number is O64. O64. Teak, there you go. Round and around she goes. All Rotarians pay $1. There you go. I haven't seen that one before. All right. Thank you, Teak. All right, here we go. Next number, O62. O62.
Hey, Ruth.
Mike?
You want to grab $1 of mine there? You want to grab one of my dollar bills there and throw in?
All Rotary, no, not a cougar or a husky, pay $2. All right. We're paying money out today. All right. And our final number is B3. B3. Oh, Dougwood. There you go. Cash, cold hard cash, $25.
All right, Chris, we up for Happy Bucks
Could you use Sergeant Arms?
or Sergeant Arms? I'm sorry.
All right, we'll get to you, Doug. We'll get to you. All right, so my friend Louie, my friend Dan Sims, they always told me that Sergeant at Arms was not meant to be just walking around the room and asking questions of tables and things, that we're supposed to kind of get to individuals. So I'm going to kind of blend a little bit of how we used to do things, maybe with a little bit of how we do things nowadays. So I'm going to single out individuals, and then we're going to do what I like to say. We're going to learn a little bit more about our Rotarians today. So John Mataran, stand up. So usually sitting in this chair right here is who?
Chuck Rule.
Chuck Rule. Chuck Rule did what for a number of years?
He was secretary.
He was secretary. What did he do outside of Rotary?
He was funeral director.
His funeral director. He was also a hospital district commissioner, an elected position. How many years did he hold that elected position?
18 years.
You know, he is absolutely right. It was 18 years. Well done. So I was going to save everybody some money. So just go ahead and sit down. Good job. Thank you very much, John. Wow. Yeah. Okay. All right. Brian Ronk. Go ahead and stand up.
I don't know anybody here. All right, this is gonna be good.
All right. So we know Lynn's our president, right?
I think so. Last time I checked.
Okay.
Yeah,
Who is our immediate past president? We should get that one, right?
I should. It's Ruth. It is Ruth.
Okay. Who's our incoming president?
Travis. I know that one.
Travis. All right. We have four
Oh, how many questions am I getting? I can just
four
answer two of them right line.
four directors and two foundation directors. Give me the 6 foundation directors that we have.
Are you? What's your name?
All
I don't know.
right, we're struggling, aren't we?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. $1 for you.
I already put in 20.
Okay. If you have served in a capacity on the board, either as a past president, secretary, a director, you're immune. Everybody else is $1.
Sorry, everyone.
All right. I'm going to talk to Stephen Dahl. I want to talk to Stephen Dahl. Stand up, Stephen. I'm coming over here specifically because you're sitting next to Danny. Danny Baird, right? Back in the day. So Danny starred at Sedro Woolley High School in softball, correct? Also soccer, maybe, right? He played, all right. And then she went to that other Pac-10 school. We're Cougs, we know this, right? She went to that Oregon school. Now, Danny, when she went to Oregon, if I'm not, you tell me if I'm wrong, Danny, changed positions from what she played in high school. What position did she play in high school?
High school? First base.
Close. What was it, Danny?
Like 1 to 9.
Yeah, and then when she went to Oregon, what did she play?
Shortstop. Outfield.
She was outfield. She was a right fielder. So thanks for letting us know a little bit more about Danny. If you are not affiliated with a Pac-10 or Pac-12 school or Pac-8, whatever it is today, you all owe $1. All right. Let's see here. Let's see here. Let's get back here. Carl, you'll be fun. Carl, we in this Rotary have a number of attorneys. How many attorneys do we have in Rotary? And by the way, these are my numbers. I'm Sergeant Orange. You got to go with my numbers.
Far too many. No. Well, let's see. You got Brock. The fella sitting next to you, we're going to count him, whether he is or isn't. I know he's close if he's not already there. We're going to count him. Eric, good job. Maybe, is your brother still in the club? Yeah, that's 3. Bill McCann was an attorney, but maybe he never stopped being an attorney. I don't know. So I'm going to count that. That's 4. And we got, Tim is 5. Jeff McCann is 6. I'm going to stop there. Maybe I missed one. I'll go with 6.
Close. I have 8. You've got Pat. You've got Pat. And you've got Mary.
And what?
Mary. So, Mary. Okay. So, if you are not an attorney or affiliated with our legal system, you owe $1. Okay, Travis, coming to you, our incoming president. Stand up. All right. We have name buddies here, right?
What?
We have name buddies. We have people that have the same name.
Oh.
Like we might have a Don Ostrom, and then we've got and Don.
Yep.
So how many duplicate names do we have in this Rotary?
Like, am I supposed to, would Don and Don be 2 or?
That'd be 1.
8,
Close. You want to pick higher.
9,
Higher.
10,
Higher.
23.
17. We have 17 name buddies here. So if you are not a name buddy or you don't know that you're a name buddy, you owe $1. All right, let's see here. I think that's it. Should we go to Happy Bucks?
Happy Bucks.
Happy Bucks. Who's got some Happy Bucks?
I'll pay the 20 Happy Bucks I got as a fine from the mayor. She did not pray for the Mariners, and we need to do that. Because
Come right to you, Brian.
Okay. All right. I have a happy 40 because this is my first time this year that I get to celebrate Isaac and Larkin as Students of the Month. So thank you.
All right, I've got a happy 16. It started out as 19 after that, but then I have to pay some more because all I had was $20 in my pocket instead of 1. So I just want to say I'm happy because life is fantastic. We live in a beautiful place. I have great friends. I have great family, and there's a lot to be excited about. I will say, since I started coming back to Rotary, I've gotten a chance to get to know some of you more, and I actually really enjoy it. Turns out you guys are actually pretty cool. So I'm going to throw that out there as part of my Happy Bucks. I'd love to get to know more of you. Anybody ever wants to go grab coffee sometime and just chat, get to know each other more? I'd love to do so I could be more involved in the group. Thanks.
So I got my last $3. Our flower girl, Bronte Lacey, celebrated her 24th birthday last Saturday, and she received a very special present. She got her white coat for her journey through medical school. She'll be an optometrist, and we're just so delighted with this turn of events.
I got a happy 10 because I'm leaving tomorrow to go see the grandbaby in Montana. Changing so much every day. It's so cool to see. And I also just wanted to say that if you grab a cup of coffee with Brian, he's pretty good to have coffee with.
I've got a happy 20 for being a member of IPA and apologizing for everyone that I'm after you with your bills for the 26 school year, which starts in November in Copan. And looking back through, I was extremely embarrassed when I looked back and I hadn't paid 25. So it's a happy 20 for reminding myself I owed them money.
Any other Happy Bucks? Oh, Chris?
I'll throw in a 20, put them all, I had like 6 in fines. Everything is coming along with the house, about ready to demo, got my engineering designs all done, so I'm excited for that. If it's not raining after 5 p.m., I'm usually out in front of my fire pit, playing some banjo. I picked up music again, yeah, in memory of one of our fallen Rotarians. And so I'm usually around drinking beer. So if you're ever going by Rothenbuehler's and you see the fire pit going, I'm there. Oh, and then my kid's going to homecoming. How'd that happen? So first homecoming, I'm kind of excited about it.
Whoop, we got one more.
Happy 20. Wife and I were on a little bit of a family trip, bookended with a start in the Netherlands with my cousins. And then we took a holiday for ourselves by floating down the Main and Rhine River, starting in Nuremberg and ended up in Basel, Switzerland, with a stop in Strasbourg and Heidelberg, etc. And then in Berkeley for the birth of our second grandchild, Charlotte Rose.
I've got a happy 5 here, Chris. So apparently I have a lot of free time on Wednesday nights. I got to spend last night at City Council, and that was an interesting show. Thank you, Mayor, for being the ringleader or ringmaster of that circus last night. But we were talking, they got to talking about the fees and all the changes to the use of the community center. So I was up there just to make one more plug for not having to pay $1,000 for security for our Christmas party. But it was an interesting and enlightening over 3 hours of my soul torn out of my body and listening to that. But I would like to say it's fun to joke about, but our city council, our mayor, city staff, they really put in a lot of work to this. I listened to the whole crew of the city council. They had they knew what they were talking about. They apparently, well, I don't know about that, but they had reviewed the packets and knew the topics and were posing questions to city staff, and it was really well done. The finance director, she did an awesome job last night. I kept turning to Tiffany and Chris Schaffner saying, "That's my daughter. That's my daughter. That's my daughter up there." But I was impressed. The whole crew, you guys are dedicated, and I don't know how you keep your sanity with some of the things. The mayor was getting yelled at last night. City staff were getting yelled at last night by one of the folks that came up to do public cursing. I think that was the section, was public cursing. So it was an interesting show, but thank you for your dedication and continuing to do it. We do appreciate it. And with that, it's time for early leavers. If you've paid your $2 and need to leave, and families, if you want to stay, you're welcome to stay. But if you need to bug out, feel free to bug out. But Chris, are you going to introduce our speaker for today?
Thank you, Lynn. We have a gem within our community, and that is the United General District 304. They run over 50 community service projects, many of which you may not even be aware of. You might be familiar with the Fitness Center or WIC. They do tobacco cessation. The list goes on and on. And one of the things they've been doing for a number of years is a farm to school program up in Concrete. They've expanded that program. They're now down here in Sedro Woolley. And we have the pleasure today to hear about the farm to school program from Adele Eslinger. Adele's been working on farm to school efforts in Skagit Valley since 2016, when she joined the United General District 304 as an AmeriCorps Vista volunteer to build capacity in the Concrete farm to school program. With a degree in linguistics and a master's in human rights from the University of Vienna, Adele takes a holistic approach to food systems work. By fostering curiosity, empathy, and intuition, garden-based education has the potential to change the way youth and adults relate to each other, our food system, and the environment. With that, please welcome Adele.
Hello. Hi, thank you, Chris, for the introduction, and thank you for having me today. I'll acknowledge right away that I was going to be accompanied by Jamie Johnson from Samish Elementary, one of the teachers there. So this presentation was initiated between Jamie Johnson and the Rotary, I believe, and I'm here to support. So I'll be providing a context of farm to school programming across the Sedro Woolley School District, but we'll be taking a special look at the programming at Samish Elementary in particular today, especially as the Sedro Woolley Rotary has been very generous and involved with that garden in recent years. So yeah, United General District 304, as Chris mentioned, or the public hospital district here, coordinate a lot of programs having to do with community health. I coordinate our farm to school programming within the Sedro Woolley School District. And I'll just start out with a brief kind of history overview of how we've gotten to where we are today with farm to school work. The work in farm to school began for us as a partnership with the district based on SNAP Ed funding in 2017. And that funding was specifically directed at partnering with the food service staff to increase scratch cooking and local sourcing. And one of the main ways we went about doing that was implementing a Harvest of the Month program, where every month we would work with the food service director, Allison Johnston, to decide on a produce item, find a local farmer who grew that or produced it, source it, and do taste tests in the cafeteria or put it on the line in some way. So it was kind of like the initiation of our partnership. We eventually, in 2018, received a USDA Farm to School planning grant, which had the intention of starting conversations within the district around garden-based education. Was there interest from different schools? Was there interest from staff, from faculty in having garden lessons and that type of outdoor education? There was. We received in 2021 a follow-up grant from the USDA for implementation of farm to school work. And that's really when our first school garden lessons started. And we partnered that first year with Samish Elementary as well as Central Elementary, which Central already had a garden at that point. We were just coming in and providing that support to do the first garden lessons. From there, since that year, we have grown. Schools have come to us, and we've gone to schools within the district to expand and establish or reclaim more garden spaces. So we currently have operating gardens at 6 of the schools in the district. It's 5 of the elementaries, and now the middle school is like our newest kind of frontier area, and we're really excited for where we're going to continue to grow. So just a few photos from scratch cooking and local sourcing over the years. You can see on the top right a bunch of delicata squash that was going to get roasted, probably at a Taste Washington Day, which this is a great day to highlight farm to school because today is Taste Washington Day. So the food service department today has a menu that features a ton of local produce. I believe yesterday they did parfaits with yogurt from Grace Harbor and local berries from the Northwest Berry Co-op. And today they have a soft taco lunch on local tortillas with a bunch of toppings coming from Viva Farms, Ralph's Greenhouse, a number of other local farms. So this day is like kind of a special day for farm to school, and extra kudos if you see anybody who's involved with the food service department in the next few days, tell them good work because they do a lot to get food on the plates of our students. Yeah, we'll move on, but in the bottom right corner, I think this picture is a really cool one to highlight. If anybody recognizes who that is with a mask, it's kind of hard. That's Rachel Sobchak of Water Tank Bakery, one of our premier bakeries really in Skagit Valley. We have, of course, the bread farm in Edison and Water Tank Bakery up at the Port of Skagit in Burlington that does sourdough bread. It's amazing sourdough bread. It's rather expensive. It's local grain. She uses grain that's milled at Cairn Spring right there at the port. So it's really impressive product. And the school has a sourcing relationship with Water Tank Bakery thanks to WSDA's local purchasing funds. And so it's not every day, of course, that this bread is showing up on plates, but it's showing up especially at the high school thanks to that sourcing relationship. So these are just some of the examples of how we've been working with the food service over the years to help get more fresh food onto the plates of students. And then the school gardens here, you can see kind of in COVID times, some of the first garden circle up at Central Elementary, which, garden education, who knew was going to provide like a safe space to be and gather during COVID. So that was kind of a special moment for garden education. And down in the bottom right corner, that's one of the former first grade teachers at Samish with their very first garden bed. This is our first planting of corn, beans, and squash, which we did in partnership with Viva Farms in 2021 in the spring. So it was a big moment for Samish Elementary. And here's just an overview of a few of the school gardens. The bottom left, there's Clear Lake, of course, one of our local famous farmers, Matt of Fit Hills Farm. There on the bottom right, that's Central Elementary. And you can see an arch there. Sixth grade did a design project last year and wanted to do a native planting area, integrate an arch, kind of create a more welcoming atmosphere. So we do a lot of self-directed projects with the older grades. That's part of how we approach curriculum. Top right is the newest garden that we have been supporting. That was really a lot of internal drive from Lyman Elementary. The parent group came to us and asked for some consulting support for design. And we had some dialogue with them, and then they secured the funds. This was a dream moment where like they found the funds, we provided consultation, they built the garden, and now we're able to offer lessons in it. So it's beautiful when it works that way. The second from the right on the top, it's pretty small. You can see that's Evergreen's garden, small photo, decent sized garden, small garden, but good infrastructure. And then we have Samish, which we'll look more at in a second. And then on the top left is the leadership class at Cascade Middle School. This is just a few weeks ago. This is them broad forking and prepping that space for its very first cover crop, which is now in the ground, and we'll form our rows in the spring to put the first crops in there. But it's a really exciting development. Okay, we'll zoom in real quick and take a moment to look at Samish Garden and its development over the years, because that's our little highlight for today. These are mason bees, by the way. Has anybody had mason bees in their yard? Yay. They're so sweet. They're one of my favorite interactions for students. It's such a special way for kids to start to understand the diversity of pollinators and also the gentleness of pollinators. We love mason bees. So Jamie Johnson, who was one of the teachers involved really at the beginning of some of this work at Samish, she sent me this mission statement because the Samish faculty developed this internally. So this was not a mission statement that United General District 304 came up with. This is from the school. So I'll read it out. Samish will work together as a whole school to experience hands-on learning that will enrich and support our academic curriculum while promoting healthy and thoughtful lifelong skills. So that's really their goal at Samish Elementary for their outdoor learning space. This on the top left, that's their very first garden bed. This is 2021 in the spring. It's a 5-foot by 20-foot section right in the ground. We dug it right in. We found out right away that up there at Samish, they have about 6 inches of nice topsoil. And then I don't know if anybody lives up there, but you've got rock below that. And so we've been building this soil up ever since then, literally physically to try to get above some of the rock layer, but it's pickaxe territory. Really, it's amazing. And here we are putting down some cardboard to expand. You can see the slow evolution of the garden over the years. And this photo of me with one of the 3rd or 4th grade classes. This is doing native plant identification. So yes, mostly focus on the garden, but I love native plants. And Samish Elementary has this forest, and they have this trail system that they've been starting to reclaim. And so it's an amazing resource. That school, their property is just so special, because how many, students get a chance to walk into the forest during the school day and learn how to identify native plants, what's edible, what's not, what are medicinal uses, traditional uses of these plants by the tribes and things like that. It's a really cool space. So this is one of their more recent efforts that some teachers have been putting energy into, and we benefit from that and support that. But really, since 2021, I would say the garden space there has probably, how do you say, not quadrupled, but like more. It's more than quadrupled, and the staff are really supportive, and all grades there take part. Every class takes part in garden lessons. It's always voluntary, but every grade chooses to at Samish, and that, I think, speaks to the strength of the program there, as well as the investment of staff, that they see the benefit to their kids. And then I want to highlight towards the bottom here, the Rotary funds have been hugely helpful at Samish Elementary. And I've seen just in like the past year since the Sedro Woolley Rotary donated funds to this garden, how it's been able to take off in the infrastructure improvements. They have worked with the tribe as well as some local artists to develop murals on 2 of the sides of the buildings, honoring our local landscapes and local plants. There's infrastructure on the bottom right. I think in the next slide, I have a better picture of it. There's a new outdoor like classroom space. And the next steps on this space, I believe they're putting up posts and sails so that there's shade. And there's going to be more infrastructure developments. We'll be replacing, you can hardly see this little white pump house at the far end of the field on the bottom left picture. That's currently our shed, but it's quite scary. And so we're taking it down, and a little seed starting greenhouse will be put there, and a shed will be put along the fence. And so there's just really been significant improvements in the infrastructure there, and we're really excited. The staff joke about like chickens, and I'm like, oh my goodness, like, haha, I'm not managing them, but there's investment. And that's really cool to see. It's very exciting to see. So this is where the garden's at these days. And I think I just wanted to wrap up kind of with vision for the future, looking ahead, both at the level of Samish Elementary, but also at a district level, and really kind of the why behind this programming and where we're hoping Farm to School goes, within Sedro Woolley. At Samish, I think, as I mentioned, these are just little photos, but there's going to be a seed starting greenhouse going in still with some of the remainder of these Rotary funds, a fence. We have some donated cedar boards, and we're going to be building a kind of picket type fence around the outdoor learning area to encourage safety of students and plants, and also welcome people into the space. And so we're excited to do that. And then a shed will be put in there. That's a picture of the evergreen shed. So hopefully something that is similar will be at Samish. And then we want to continue working on our native planting areas, integrating signage, really getting things to be interactive in the garden. So visitors, families, teachers, when I'm not there, are able to use the space to the maximum and really optimize it. And then we have many dreams: worm bin systems, food waste separation. We'll take them one step at a time. And zooming out, I think looking at the district level, a few of the things that we are really visioning for the future is garden-based education opportunities across all grade levels, right? Right now, we're really deeply invested in the elementary schools. We're at 5 of the 7 elementary schools, but we would love to see all students have a chance to benefit from hands-on learning in outdoor spaces, no matter what elementary they go to. And we see the middle school is kind of this is our next big step in that direction, because no matter what elementary school you go to, if you're in the district and you're in middle school, you're going to be at Cascade Middle School, right? And so this food production garden space and the food systems lessons that we're starting at the middle school level are kind of this next step. And the middle school has responded extremely positively. There's a ton of interest from teachers. There's a lot of interest and positive momentum from staff. And so we're really excited about what that might look like. And students are directing food waste separation in the cafeteria now. And Allison, the food service director, is on board with helping get that going. And so there's a lot of exciting changes happening there. We have a high school employment program that has been on and off depending on my capacity and our funding. That's something that we would like to see flourish and grow, is that we have the funds to consistently offer employment in the summer months to high school students who want to get experience in agriculture. and they can do that on our garden sites, and then we take them also to farms and things like that. So that's a goal for the future. And we would love to see the policies continue to grow and reflect at the district level as well. We're involved in the wellness policy, and there's going to be a rewrite of that wellness policy eventually down the road. And so as those policies come up for overhaul or adaptations, we want to be thinking about how does farm to school get integrated into those policies, right? How do the policies at the district level really support the growth of this work in the future? That's something that we're invested in. And then advisory team, and I want to bring that up in this space because there's a lot of talent in this room. There's a lot of expertise in this room, and I have hosted an advisory team in the past. In the past year, my capacity has been elsewhere, but we're really looking towards getting a healthy advisory team going again. We want the community to be guiding this work and to be shaping where farm to school goes in the district. And so I will be putting out a call to regather that advisory team, and I'll make sure that goes out in case anybody in this room feels they would want to be involved. And that doesn't need to be agriculture experience. That can be fiscal experience, right? Funding is always a huge thing for these programs. That can be experience in volunteer engagement and event planning, because we want to do more of that. We want to host community events in the gardens, but that's not necessarily our expertise, right? So we would love to see some of you involved. Yeah, and I think on that point, one of our main goals as United General District 304 is to really seek consistent, reliable funding sources for this programming. And that's something that is a focus of ours right now at the district level. Yeah, so we'll just tap on a few benefits of outdoor learning, and then I'll open it up to Q&A in case anybody has questions. I think something that I have noticed, well, the first thing I notice is that a student who plants a kale seed will eat that kale flower and will eat that kale leaf, right? And so the way a student experiences food changes drastically based on how engaged they've been with that food. And if you're growing broccoli or if you're growing a carrot, like students' eyes light up when they get to pull it out and taste it, right? A student who's never tasted a tomato before will be like, I guess I'll try, or like a radish. Like, I don't like radishes at home, but maybe I'll try it, in the garden space. It's like a different setting. And so that's very powerful. That's a benefit, right? Nutrition and familiarity with where our food comes from. That's a very direct benefit. But I think, more indirect benefits, like in a garden space, when we're doing lessons, the questions that come up, they naturally integrate all different subject matters. So you might have a question that you end up talking about a math, like, oh, how many broccoli plants can we actually fit in this 6 foot by 3 foot bed? Well, if every broccoli plant needs 1 square foot approximately, let's do the math. We can do that. Or you can talk about the parts of the plant or the stages of the life cycle of a plant, right? Pull in science. We do poetry in the garden, right? So every subject can be integrated in one space, and that doesn't always happen in the classroom setting. And then I think another thing I like to pull out always is just the social emotional learning and the fostering of curiosity and empathy that happens in a garden space. And students learn how to navigate teamwork, which can be really hard when everyone wants to use the magnifying glass, or like everyone wants to use a certain hand tool at once, the biggest hand tool, whichever one it is going to be in demand, right? But learning that teamwork and also learning empathy and perspective taking and thinking about like, well, this insect does have a job, even though I'm scared of it, like it has a job out here. So how do I navigate my fear while like respecting this other life, and those sorts of soft skills that we need, everyone needs, right, throughout life, are fostered in a garden setting. And then student-led learning is huge. And if we want to raise informed and responsible citizens, this type of outdoor education work is one really powerful way to do that. Yeah, so that's what I have for today. Here's just a little overview of a bunch of the different programs that are coordinated by United General District 304, which Farm to School is one of them. And they go from, WIC, the young, all the way up to hospice. And so really trying to support community wellness across the life. And that's all I have. I'd love to take any questions that anybody has.
Questions for Adele? Oh, Carl, let me get you a mic.
Thank you. Fantastic presentation. I was wondering if there was any data, some numbers that you could share that would demonstrate how the program over the past 8 years has impacted student health and their academic performance since 2017. Thank you.
Thanks. That's a great question. Evaluation. Evaluation is I would say is the constant thing in our minds that we want to do better on. What we do find, evaluating student knowledge, that's a really challenging one, especially in garden settings, because often what we have found when we've tried to evaluate knowledge, let's say science knowledge, sometimes students do better at the beginning and at the end because they start out with a level of confidence and then they start to realize how little they know in a certain subject area. That's been a really interesting trend we've actually seen, and that tracks across garden programming actually a lot. But where we have seen really strong changes is in feeling of connectedness to community, feeling of connectedness to nature, and feeling of connectedness to the school. And those, I don't have specific statistics on me, but those we see increase dramatically. And then also students like willingness to try new foods, and that increases dramatically over the years. But if there's any evaluation experts in the room, we would love some support in that, because I get to see the results, in person. But as of yet, I don't have super great infographic statistics to share with you. Yep.
Question over here, Adele. Mark?
Well, thanks for your work with our schools. But many years ago, I was working with Concrete School District, and I believe that's where you started. Is that right? Up there?
Yes.
Could you tell us what that looks like compared to what's going on in Sedro Woolley?
For sure. Yeah. The Concrete Farm to School program is super strong. They have the elementary, middle school, and high school all on one campus. So over the years, they've been able to direct all of their efforts into one landscape. So at that school now, they have a mini farm. And that farm, they do operate a yearly high school employment program in the summer months, and they sell, well, by suggested donation. They have produce stands. Now they've transitioned. They used to do it at the farmer's market. Now they're doing it on site at the mini farm. They do bouquet shares. They've decided to focus a lot on cut flowers and bouquets. So they teach students how to arrange, and they do that up there. So they have a really strong programming set. That's my coworker, Rachel Mua Sacco, and our other coworker, Margot. So they have 2 staff up there for Concrete, and I'm the staff down here for Sedro. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I have a question about how you manage the farm and the kids. Do they sign up for a whole semester? Because the growing season is antithetical to the school year. So are they doing book learning in class in the winter, and then they get in the spring, they get a little bit of do a little bit of getting their hands dirty? How does that work, and how do you keep the plants alive in the summer?
Great question. Yes, the growing season is a perennial challenge, right, for a school garden. So there's a few ways we address it. We lean really heavily into shoulder season crops. We do a lot of early spring planting of things that we hope to terminate by June-ish. So, early favas and peas, and then strawberries, which will stay in the ground, things like that, radishes. And then we also, the garden lessons are in the spring and the fall. So I have done winter series in the past few years, starting to do that more. But for the winter series, we focus mostly on decomposition and other infrastructure projects, often with older grades, where it's not so much about the actual plant growing, but how can we do project-based learning to improve the garden infrastructure, or to learn about soil health. Your question about the summer months is one reason why a high school employment program is a priority for us, because then we have we're offering programming in the summer and we have a way to maintain gardens in the summer. We currently run families sign up to take weeks of the school gardens and to do basic maintenance and to harvest and to water. And then at the Evergreen Elementary, we do programming with the Sedro Woolley Boys and Girls Club in the summer. So Evergreen Elementary and the Cascade Middle School garden, which is going to be our larger food production garden, will benefit from the presence of the Boys and Girls Club in our summer programming there. That's part of that plan. Yeah.
Adele, I think I got one more question for you.
Sure.
It wasn't much of really a question, just a kind of a comment. Over the years, we've kind of worked to get together a little bit, and it's always really cool to see how excited the kids get with all the little projects that you come up with too. It's we had them out for the summer concert series one year, and not only were they planting plants, and the kids would come by the booth and plant a little plant, but they actually had a bicycle there that ran a blender so the kids could actually work for their own juice. I mean, it was really cool. And so I appreciate everything you guys do.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
All right. So before we go, something I forgot on our announcements. Our normal setup crew is going to be off fishing next week. And so we're going to need Team October and anybody else that can step up to come a little bit early. We try to, I think Rick starts setting up at about 11:15 and it's usually set up by 11:30. Oh yeah. Yeah. There you go. But if we can get a few people to show up a little bit early, I'll be here as early as I can. But we've got our district governor coming in, and I may be hung up on hanging out with district governor and her entourage. But thank you. Let's see, who all do we have here? John from Tumwater, thank you. And thank you, Carrie, if you could pass on to the kiddos. Was happy to see them here. Welcome aboard, Andy. She's got a booklet, and I'm sure she's already got her bill for her membership and all that. And I will plug you into one of the teams that's a little short-handed later on in the year. And with that, I think that's all we've got. So if we can help stow the chairs, put them away correctly, right, Rick? Yep. Rick and I spent about half an hour reorganizing the chairs back there, and we are adjourned.